What's up, y'all? It is Ace of Cups Tea, back with another one. Today we are focused on this mid-month energy, this mid-June. We are in the waning crescent moon. We're leading up towards a new moon coming up on, I think, June 18th. So we have a couple more days. We're in the middle of the month. It's been a while, but I'm ready to kind of get some general messages for what we can expect for the last 2 weeks of the month. That new moon energy will be with us. So let's get into it. We are going to kick off as usual with just taking a look at the moonlight musings. Our waning crescent moon, the moon begins to wane as we head back toward the darkness of the next new moon to complete the cycle. Except during the waning gibbous moon. This moon is all about accepting things and getting ready for newness. As the moon makes its way back around, it's time to lighten the load. Accepting the past as it was allows us to move forward with greater ease. Acceptance doesn't mean things can't change in the future. It means we stop wasting precious energy trying to change what has been. What do you need to accept about yourself? What do you need to accept about others? So that is the general energy of this moon. I will be pulling from the Modern Witch deck, pulling a couple clarifiers from the Hoodoo, and last but not least, we'll get up into that Groovy Oracle for some general messages. Today, I am drinking holy basil tea. I love holy basil tea. Holy basil tea is all about relaxation, releasing tension, and that just feels perfect for this moon. It is about accepting, releasing, relaxing. So let's get into it. I don't know about y'all, but I think Palo Santo is one of the greatest smells on the planet. I can never get enough of it. So let's get up into it. Oh, last but not least, this is my Bloom and Plume teacup. One of my favorite coffee shops in LA. I do not live in LA, but I do visit often because I have family that lives there. And when I'm in LA, I always go to this coffee shop, and I got this very cute mug. Love it, Bloom and Plume. All right, let's get into it. Well, y'all, kick this off. We are gonna just begin with our first 3 cards. Again, this is mid-June messages. These messages are good for the last 2 weeks of the month. Obviously, we have a tower moment coming, or a tower moment in this messaging. But let's just get into generally what we're talking about. Today we have pulled the Two of Swords, the Tower, and the Two of Cups. Now, I know a lot of people do not like some of these darker cards. The Tower card, I never see the Tower as necessarily a bad thing. The Tower is really a look at what needs to come crashing down. A tower is something that is unstable, so it needs to just fall apart so that something new and sustainable with a really good foundation can be rebuilt in its place. So I don't want anyone to like freak out about this tower moment for June, because it's not necessarily a bad thing, and we're gonna get into that. Kicking things off with this Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, as you can see, she is wearing a blindfold. She has these 2 swords crossed across her chest. There is a waning crescent moon above her. There's water behind her. The Two of Swords is all about blind faith. The Two of Swords is all about intuition. It's all about making the right decision. She has 2 decisions to make, 2 options two ways, two paths, and there's a sense of almost like you have to just close your eyes and pick something. A decision needs to be made, and there's a lot of faith in this card. There's a lot of trust in this card. There's also a lot of balancing the head and the heart. I even like that she has these swords crossed over her heart, because at this point, the decision, this person has considered the heartfelt side of things. This person has thought about the mind side. They've thought about the mental aspect of it. And it's almost like everything, no matter which way you go, there's a sense of, I'm not sure. This is how my heart feels. This is how my head feels. Where do we meet in between? What do we do? What happens next? And there's a huge sense of blind faith here. There's a huge opportunity to really just tap in and trust whatever your higher self is telling you. Trust whatever, whatever any of us believes in, whether that's God, whether that's your ancestors, your angels, your spirit team. That is where the faith needs to lie. This person is also, if you really pay attention to the card, the waters in the background are really rocky, and water in tarot really represents intuition. So there is this battle of trusting intuition, trusting your mind, trusting your heart. Which direction do you go? Where are we headed next? And this person is leaving it up to that higher self, leaving it up to whatever it is that needs to guide them. I really love that. So whatever it is that each of us individually is working on in the month of June for these last 2 weeks, there's a sense of just trusting. If you have faith in something, you just hold on to that faith. And there's so many things happening in the world. 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody's doing their own thing every single day. And a lot of times we're waiting for answers. We're waiting for this. We're waiting for a job. We're waiting for an answer. We're waiting for whatever is coming next. We're waiting for something. We're always waiting. Time isn't real, but it feels real, because as humans, we are constantly in a state of waiting for what's next. And this Two of Swords is like, stop waiting. I even like the cross, because it's like, stop waiting. Stop just sitting around and waiting, and have some faith, trust, know that you are on the right path. Know that even these really hard tower moments are still happening for a reason. Even though this energy is really heavy, it needs to happen. So this blind faith that we are having towards the end of June has everything to do with this tower moment. This tower moment is the thing that we all have to have faith in. We have to have faith that there are things that are going to fall apart, things that are not going to work out, things that aren't meant. And the reality is if it is meant for you, you will have it. Maybe not immediately, but at some point there comes a point where we all have to just trust that these tower moments are happening for a reason. The other thing to note about the tower moment, there's a crown on top of this tower. The tower moment speaks heavily to materialism. Whenever we build our foundation on the material aspects of the world, whenever we build our foundation on physical things here, and we are ignoring the spiritual aspect, and we aren't necessarily building on the spirituality, we're just building on all material things. Spirit is here to be like, no, whatever you were building on in this mindset of physicality, of, even when we think about working on goals, I'm a writer, and I can't live my life waiting to get paid for what I'm writing for. I just have to write every single day. My purpose for writing isn't getting money. My purpose for writing isn't about this material aspect. And whenever you build life on a material aspect, things come crashing down, because material aspects aren't as sustainable as the energy. Spirituality holds a heavier weight on this planet than the physical, and it doesn't seem like that. It never seems like that, because we live in a really physical world. Everything we see around us is a physical thing. I can touch this table. These are cards, they're physical. But there's also intuition. Intuition is not a physical thing. None of us can touch intuition, but we all have it. So this tower moment is here to be like, I know towers are happening, I know things are breaking down, but the faith is required. Blind faith, trusting. Again, whatever it is that you or any of us choose to trust in, whether that's God, the ancestors, your spirit team, your mom, whoever it is, there's a higher sense that this is happening for a reason. We all have to trust that towers are inevitable in life. Nobody's life is just running perfect 100% of the time, all the time. So when a tower moment hits, understand that it has to happen because the foundation wasn't strong. So building anything on a faulty foundation is going to lead to a tower moment. So whatever that may be in our individual lives, consider the ways in which you aren't tapped into the spiritual aspect and all you're focused on is the physical aspect. Allow the physical aspect to come crashing down. Have the faith that the higher power, your intuition, your higher self, God, your ancestors, your spirit team, have your back. You can have trust and faith in that over the material things. Material things come and go. They come and go. We don't have control over that. We don't have control over any of this, but the material aspect is, it's not built on a solid space. Material things, you can get them, you can lose them. It's just like money, it's energy. It's a constant flow, it's a constant ebb and flow. So as this tower moment, whatever it may have to do with, is going on, there's a necessity to remember that whatever isn't working, whatever is built on something unstable must go. I mentioned the crown on top of the tower, and that crown does represent the material aspect. Whoever was living in this tower put that crown all the way at the top, as if the crown is what determines whether someone is worthy of being a king or a queen. But the reality is the crown is just a material thing. The crown is just something that you put on your head and it's there. But does the crown truly mean that you are the leader, are a leader? Does the crown really mean that you have the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the patience? Those things are intangible. This crown, it's nothing. It's like an idol. It's just this material thing that exists in the physical world that basically, it's like a sticker. It's like a little badge. It's like when you're in the Girl Scouts and you get a little badge. You get the badge to represent that you learned something and you accomplished something, but the learnings and accomplishments have nothing to do with the badge or the crown. Somebody could take away a Girl Scouts patch and the Girl Scout is still gonna have the knowledge. So, this tower moment is all about whatever it is that we are too heavily focused on in this material realm will come crashing down. And it has to come crashing down so that we can rebuild on a foundation of faith, of trust, of our higher selves. What I really love about this reading is that it closes out with a 2 of Cups. Yeah, so it's like all of this blind faith, this crashing down. We're ending this month. We're closing these last 2 weeks of this month. Have everything to do with blind faith, period, trusting in something that isn't necessary, material, and tangible, and a coming together of souls. It's like when the tower comes crashing down and you see the spaces in which the focus was so materially based. And once you see that materially based space, you're able to allow that to just crumble out of your life. And don't get me wrong, I didn't have low-key, sometimes I can sense it in my heart whenever a card really means something bad is gonna happen. This tower is almost like a think about. It's not that things are gonna come crashing down and your world is gonna fall apart or anything. It's more so analyze. Oh, there must be a bird right here. It's more so about analyzing the ways in which you balance the spiritual and the physical aspects of this world. When that faith is had, and when we understand why it's necessary to build on the foundation of spirituality, this bird is talking. Once we understand building on a foundation of spirituality, there comes a meeting of the souls. I love that this bird came to this window and is being really loud as I'm talking about this Two of Cups, because this is a meeting of souls. This is a meet cute. This is two people coming together. And I really love that the Two of Cups, one person is on the land and one person is coming from the water. So there's an aspect of balance. Someone is coming with a heavy, earthy energy, a grounding energy, a strong foundation. Someone coming in with the emotional aspect of life. So these two souls come together. Whatever this may be in your life, there's blind faith, there's the trusting in the spiritual aspect and releasing the materialism of the world. And once that materialism is released, we come together. And this Two of Cups can be anything. This could be you guys meeting somebody. This could be going out to have drinks with a friend, and maybe, maybe the conversation is about how important it is to find this meeting of souls, how important it is to find your soul, your spirit tribe, your soul tribe. And I think that when we allow the material aspects of life to fall apart, we're able to connect with our soul tribe easier. When we're not so focused on how things look, what things can give to us, when we're not so much in that take mindset, we're able to align with our soul tribe. This could also be representative of a job offer. This could be representative of a date. This Two of Cups is about understanding each other, understanding two different mindsets, understanding how to ground in faith, how to ground your emotions. And all of this grounding, understanding, coming together, happens after this sense of trusting that material things are not sustainable. The bottom of the deck was the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. I really love the Four of Pentacles because it represents everything about boundaries. I even like to say that the Four of Pentacles, a lot of times my spirit team will be whispering to me, I got my money on my mind. There's a pentacle on this person's head, there's a pentacle on their heart, and there's two pentacles underneath each of their feet. This person is grounded. They are setting boundaries, and they're grounded in those boundaries. They're protecting their heart, they're protecting their mind, and they're protecting everything that they believe in, everything that they literally stand on. So the underarching energy of this end of June is all about making sure that your boundaries align with what you want for your future, making sure that your boundaries align with balancing the spiritual and physical aspect. So we have this blind faith, this understanding of material things needing to fall away, and this understanding of how two people, two souls, or an entire soul tribe can come back together once the focus isn't so materially based. This all happens on an individual level. Individually, we are all being asked to set boundaries. We're all being asked to protect our own assets. We're all being asked to be mindful of how we spend, be mindful of how we protect our hearts, be mindful about how we move in this world. And I love this. It's important for all of us to set boundaries and trust ourselves. I'm gonna just get into another, a very personal meaning for a Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, I also like to call it the baby emperor card. It's like in the Rider-Waite deck, the Four of Pentacles is actually wearing red. I know this card is wearing orange, but the Four of Pentacles has on a red cloak. And I often will put the Four of Pentacles next to the Emperor, and there's so many different things that seem so similar about the two cards. They're both sitting on a throne, but the Four of Pentacles is like almost just sitting on a little platform. It's very small, whereas the Emperor is on this massive big throne on top of a mountain, and whereas this person is ground level on a small little, not a big throne, just a small little platform. They're ground level in the city. This is baby Emperor energy. This is where we begin to really step into our power. And stepping into our power is all about the boundaries that we hold for ourselves and how those boundaries help us to align. If you don't set boundaries, if we don't set boundaries for ourselves, then we fall into the alignment of other people all the time. But if the boundaries are set and we have faith, then we can trust that we're moving in life on our own path, and the people that hit and follow are the people that we run into on that path are meant for it, because we've set our boundaries and we know that we're good. So I really love that the Four of Pentacles is at the back, because this really means that we're stepping into a lot of great power. And it means that we're on our way to becoming emperors. So let's pull a couple clarifiers. We are using the Hoodoo deck for the clarifiers. We got two. One, two. Clarifying our Two of Swords, we have the Three of Coins. This is such a beautiful deck. I don't know if that's focusing. What I really love, we mentioned that the Two of Swords is all about this blind faith. This Three of Coins energy, she is an oracle. Right in front of her, she has a crystal ball, she has a jar of something, she has a wad of money, she has a wishbone around her neck, she also has a cross around her neck. She is an oracle woman. She's a tarot card reader. She's a medium, she's a mystic. This person is using tools to bolster that blind faith. I don't know if any of y'all read tarot cards, if any of y'all are psychics, mediums, whatever the case, whatever mystical path each of us may or may not be on. The blind faith being clarified by this is like, yes, there's blind faith, but some of us do have tools. We can all go ahead and trust God, but sometimes we're just a little curious, and sometimes we have gifts, and I don't think there's anything wrong with using the gifts that God has given us. So whether if you are in the mystical realm, or if you have other people that read cards or read your future or read your palms, whatever the case may be, this blind faith is also paired with, hey, if you have some tools to help you get through this, go ahead and use them. Yes, continue to have the faith. Faith is always going to be the top level of how we can handle life. You can't get higher than just having that faith in whatever the higher power is. But below the faith is using the tools that God gave us. So if you may be, like I said, a mystic of any sort, it's like, go ahead, tap into your intuition. Look into that crystal ball. Look deep within. If you need to bolster your faith, bolster it. That's fine. The Tower is clarified by the 9 of Sticks and the 7 of Coins. The 9 of Sticks and the 7 of Coins. The 9 of Sticks is the 9 of Wands, 7 of Coins, 7 of Pentacles. The 9 of Sticks. Traditionally, the 9 of Wands for me is all about persistence. It's all about we've all been in a battle. There's just been this like battle. We are working our way through each of the wands, learning lessons as each wand is acquired. And now we're at the 9 wands. We're almost to the end. It's all about it. Put it this way. There's a lot of pressure that happens right before your breakthrough. Right before everything works out, right before you gain the clarity, right before the hindsight hits that 2020, there is so much pressure that makes you feel like you are about to crumble. And that's what the Tower is. And this Tower is all about, hey, we're seeing this material aspect of life, but we're almost at the end. The lessons are learned. There's only one more wand until we've completed that wand cycle, or stick, I should say. And particularly with this deck, all of these skulls on each of these sticks. She's also holding, a Bible. She has a Bible and a gun. She done been through it, okay? She got her Bible for faith. But just like I said here with the 3 of Coins, we can have that strong sense of faith, but she's still like, yo, I'm still in the material world and I need to protect myself with a gun. This battle has put this person through it, but this person also understands that this blind faith comes with other aspects. So the faith is in this Bible, but there's also another piece. Just like I said with the 2 of Swords and the 3 of Coins, like have your high faith, but also like, hey, if you have other tools, go ahead and tap into those other tools. This person has the faith in that Holy Bible, but is using that other tool, the gun, to protect themselves. So continue to have that faith and trust whatever your higher power is, or whatever you put your higher power in. Keep that. But don't ever forget that there are other tools that you can use to bolster that faith, to put you more in a space of comfortability. So yeah, they're almost at the end of the journey and they've had the faith, they have that Bible pressed against their chest, but sis ain't playing. So this Tower moment is all about, one, being right there at the finish line, right there at this point where things are finally gonna, oh, I'm at the end, so close, but stay protected, stay strapped. Also clarified by the 7 of Coins, this is all about growth. This is all about nurturing. I also love that the 7 of Coins is out here clarifying the Tower, because as I mentioned, this Tower moment is all about allowing the material aspects to not take it's like, don't let the physical material aspects of the world be your God and your savior, because there's a spiritual world that holds a heavier weight. This 7 of Coins is a very material card. It is a card of growing and nurturing your material investments. So as this Tower happens, there's growth. Things are falling apart, but we're all really understanding why things are falling apart and how to put things back together to grow. The 7 is also a very spiritual number. It's all about ascension. So this Tower moment is happening to help us ascend, help us make it to the next level, help us nurture and grow the right things so that our foundation can be settled in a place of strength and not in a space where, you know, like I said, material things, they come, they go, they add, they subtract, whatever can happen. But when you are grounded in your faith, when you're grounded in your soul, grounded in your higher power, that stuff is intangible. So no one can just come up to you and take it away. No one can walk up to me and take my intuition away from me. Like that's not how it works. Somebody could come up to me and take something else that's physical, but the non-physical things in this world that we hold close to our hearts are ours. And we have to nurture those things and trust that whatever comes falling down was meant to fall down. It wasn't built on a strong foundation in the first place. The Two of Cups is clarified by the Mother of Coins. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, this is the soul tribe coming together. But the beautiful thing about this Mother of Coins is she is at rest. She is at rest. She has all kinds of, she has lavender by her bed. She has an owl, she has a cat, a snail, and a turtle. I mentioned that there's a coming together of the soul tribe, whatever that may be, the soul tribe or a soul partner, soul mate, twin flame, whatever. There's a coming together. Once this blind faith and understanding that material things can and will fall apart quickly, we come together in the space of a stronger team. I like that she's not by herself. She literally has a spirit team with her. Like I said, there's an owl, there's a cat, a little kitten, there's a snail, and there's a turtle. That's the soul tribe. That's the coming together. Her eyes are closed, or she's wearing a sleep mask, because just like this Two of Swords, these two people cannot see what's going on. Just like this Two of Swords, faith, blind faith, trusting the soul path, trusting the soul tribe, trusting the connections, trusting the coming together of souls after towers. Tower moments are inevitable. Understanding tower moments, understanding why it was necessary for things to fall apart, necessary. Because once the tower happens and we're able to take a step back and process and analyze and have some time, it puts us in a better state of alignment to fall into this soul tribe and to really honor our faith. The bottom of the deck was clarified. The Four of Pentacles was clarified by the Sun, Big Mama. This deck is so beautiful. I don't even know if you guys can see it that well, but this card is beautiful. This is the Sun card, Big Mama. So like I said, Four of Pentacles is all about those boundaries. The Four of Pentacles is all about the boundaries. It's all about the ground level to becoming the Emperor. And the Sun is here because all of that is supported. It's okay to start. It's okay to start new things. Like I do a lot of things where I don't know if I'm gonna be good at it. I don't know if I'm gonna be bad. And I have to start at this bottom level, and it's embarrassing and it's uncomfortable, and maybe other people are doing it well already, but everybody has to start somewhere. And this Sun being here with the Four of Pentacles is like, it is okay to start at the ground level and build yourself up to the Emperor. Don't be ashamed of starting at ground one. I don't know anybody that became amazing at something, a master at something, that didn't start at ground one. Like, I don't know how people think that they can make it to the 100th step if they skip all the steps in between. Like, no, it's okay to start at the ground level. We are supported. You are supported. Trust yourself. Have faith in the spiritual aspects of life. Stop building foundations on just the material world. It's okay to consider the material world and have it be a part of your plans, because obviously we live in a very material, obviously we're in this material world. But if all of your eggs are in a material basket and you have nothing in the spiritual space, you have nothing to ground you spiritually, things will come crashing down. But when things come crashing down, there comes a better sense of alignment. And that alignment brings in the soul tribe. We're gonna pull a couple groovy oracles to close this out. We're gonna kick off with what is on the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck is, you are aligned. Like I said, having the blind faith, allowing things to fall apart, allowing things that weren't built on the right foundation to just come crashing down, all falls down. And I said that once that is done, the alignment is secured. You are aligned. We are aligned. Allow those material things to not dictate everything in your life. Allow the material things to just kind of be something that you consider, but not what you build everything on. So I love that the bottom of the deck is you are aligned, because we are aligned. We're finding alignment with our soul tribe. We're finding alignment with the people that are meant to be in our lives for the future. We're finding alignment for the things that are meant for our highest selves. We got Zaddy. Saturn is watching. Saturn is the planet of responsibility. Saturn is the planet of growing up. It is the planet of maturity. When we have our Saturn return, we are faced with all of the ways in which we are still children, and we are faced with how we can evolve into the adults that we are meant to be. Saturn return is not an easy transit. There's a lot to be said about Saturn returns. Saturn return kicks off 27, 28, goes through your early 30s, and Saturn kind of keeps popping back in to check on you. So the fact that we have this card here, this card of responsibility, this card of growing up, Saturn is watching us. Saturn is here to really see what decisions we're making. And if we are making the right decisions, if Saturn peeks in your window and sees that you are being responsible, sees that you are handling things as an adult should, not as a child does, but as an adult should, Saturn is here to reward. If Saturn is out here and we are just acting like we 16, not handling the money right, not handling relationships right, still lying, still just in that immature energy, Saturn is here to check. So Groovy Oracle is all about, this message at least is all about being responsible in these decisions, being responsible about how we handle this tower moment, being responsible. Next up, time is the most valuable thing we have. Time is the most valuable thing we have. It really is. We talk about money all the time. Oh, money, money, money. How much money do we make? But how much time do you have? Do you have time each day to pour into your purpose? Do you make time to do the things that feed your spirit? Like I said, money is the material. Money is this tower. Time is where the real value lies, because we can all go touch money, you know, with the exception of how things are changing with crypto, but money has historically been a tangible thing. It is material. Time, we can't touch time. It's just going, it's not stopping for nobody. We all are experiencing time in a different way. I have days that feel like they go by like this and days that are just dragging on. If I call my mom, she's 3 hours away from me or in a 3-hour different time zone. It's like time is not a real thing, but it is the thing that we all depend on. And it is the most valuable thing that we have. I always see those videos where somebody's like, oh, if I could give you $1 million tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. And then the trick is, oh, but you have to die the next day. And it's like, damn, yeah, because money means nothing if you can't enjoy it. Money means nothing if you don't have time. So time really is the most valuable thing here. And time is a spiritual thing. Time is not a materialistic thing in this reading. Time is, the material things come crashing down. And once that comes crashing down, that is when we are able to recognize that all that material stuff didn't really mean anything. Time, energy, spirit, they're valuable. Those are the things that should be considered. Time is really scary too. It's a very vulnerable thing that we're all dealing with, time. How much time do we have left? How much time do we have to accomplish this? So readjust. Trust that time is a very valuable thing. And it's not always, it's important to remember that these things that we can touch aren't necessarily as valuable as they seem. Next Groovy Oracle. Take the problems off. Take your armor off. Take all the drama off. This is a Big Sean lyric. I love Big Sean, but I really love this line. Take the problems off, take your armor off, take the drama off. Again, speaking to this tower moment. This tower energy is really heavy in this reading, and I hate that that's the way the cards fell, but like towers, it's inevitable. I'm not gonna act like the tower moment didn't happen just because I don't like it. This tower moment is all about, yes, there's problems, there's armor. We all have these problems we're dealing with. We all have up in armor. We're all wearing armor to protect ourselves. But it's time to take off the drama. Take off all the thoughts and ideas that we had about this material world. Release the drama. Release the problems. Release the armor. Trust. Release all this stuff so that we can trust in our path. The last card for the Groovy Oracle is, there are many perspectives in life. Consider them all. I know we can't necessarily really consider them all, but what happens a lot of times is whenever tower moments happen, we see the tower as this thing that's happening to us versus this thing that's happening for us. Just that initial shift that, oh, bad things aren't happening to me, they're happening for me, pushes you in a direction where you can learn and grow from a tower moment. But if you think the tower is happening to you all the time, then your perspective is a little off. There are other perspectives to consider. There are other people involved. I said this earlier, there are 8 billion people on this planet. That is 8 billion different paths. 8 billion different birth charts, 8 billion different ways of thinking and living. So this idea that other people are going to always agree with us, other people are always going to understand us, doesn't make sense. Everybody has their own perspective. Everyone has their own childhood, their own parents, their own way of seeing the world, their own way of moving through the world. And if we're all so grounded in our personal perspective, then we lose track of the fact that there are 8 billion other things, other people that are doing billions of other actions every single day. So as this tower is happening, rather than taking it personally, rather than internalizing a tower moment, consider there are many other perspectives. What was the catalyst for the tower moment? Who else was involved in the tower moment? Why is the tower moment happening? There's so many perspectives. I might look at a tower moment and say, oh, this is because of this, and this. And then maybe when the reality comes out, I find out, oh, the tower moment actually happened because, I'm gonna use an example. I didn't hear back from somebody and I'm thinking, oh my God, this person doesn't like me, blah, 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 blah. This is a tower moment. But then, 2 days go by and I found out, oh, this person lost their phone and they were trying to figure out how to get a new phone. It's like, if I view that just from my perspective, then of course I'm gonna think everything's happening to me. But the second that I realized, oh, that person was living an entire separate life than me, and they had all of this stuff going on in their world, and I had no idea about it, and I blamed them, and blah, 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 blah. So I love that this Perspectives of Life came out, because it really speaks to understanding a tower moment. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. There's so many perspectives to consider when things fall apart. So many different wavelengths that people are living on. So that is all I have for today. I think this is beautiful. The key takeaways: get grounded in the spiritual aspects of life. Trust that towers are happening for you, not to you. And have faith in whatever that higher power is, because that faith and allowing things that aren't meant to fall apart will bring you into this soul tribe. Step into that space of responsibility. Step into understanding that time is valuable. Release the drama of this tower moment. And always know that there's so many perspectives, so many ways of viewing life, so many ways of living, that we can't just sit here and internalize everything. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Have a great June, and I'll be back for another one.